Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring independent data certification, IDC, and how their approach to data quality is really poised to set a new standard for the industry, especially as we move into this age of AI.
It's really interesting how important this is becoming. As we, rely on data more and more, especially with AI, we need to know that it's accurate and reliable.
Yeah, it's like if you're building a house,
Hmm.
right? You want to make sure that you're not using, faulty bricks or materials.
Exactly. You need a solid foundation.
And so IDC, it seems like they're really kind of stepping in to provide that foundation for the data that drives so many crucial decisions.
They are. And what's remarkable is the team they've assembled to tackle this challenge. It's a powerful blend of industry veterans and, cutting-edge tech innovators.
Yeah, let's talk about that team for a second, because we've got some background on them, and it's quite impressive.
Oh, absolutely. You've got John Hansen, the founder and CEO, over 40 years in the oil industry. He's been a real pioneer in things like cloud-based reporting and blockchain applications. He really understands the industry inside and out.
And then you have Colin Dawson, their technology lead, who brings expertise in AI and data science. He's led successful digital transformations. So you've got that real tech savvy combined with the industry knowledge.
And let's not forget Ruben Wee. I mean, the brains behind the technology platform that powers IDC's solutions.
I was just going to say, he's the one who developed the world's first online reporting system for the oil industry back in 2001, which is incredible to think about how ahead of his time he was.
Talk about a visionary. And then you round out the team with Marcos Allen, who brings decades of practical experience in offshore drilling projects and implementation of digital twin technology. So they've got all the bases covered.
It's a really remarkable team, and they're tackling what they call the data trilemma. So what is that exactly?
Well, it's that challenge of balancing data quality with security and risk management, right? You can't have one without the others, and it all becomes even more crucial when you're talking about AI.
Because with AI, you're essentially putting a lot of trust in the data that's driving those algorithms and those decisions.
Exactly. And so IDC is saying you can't just focus on one piece of the puzzle. You need a comprehensive solution that addresses all three, and that's where their certify framework comes in.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about certify. How does that actually work?
Well, certify is designed to really ensure that data that is being used to make critical decisions is verified, it's certified, it's ready for action, especially as AI becomes, more and more integrated into operations.
So it's like a three-pronged approach, almost addressing standard operating procedures and real-time data quality assurance and even the verification of the physical sensors themselves.
You got it. That's a great way to put it. And they've developed 3 specific solutions within that certify framework: SOP certify, DQA certify, and SFV certify.
And that's what's so fascinating to me, and that's actually what we're going to be exploring over the next 3 episodes, is each of these certify solutions in detail, looking at how they work and what kind of impact they're having.
Yeah, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how they digitize and standardize procedures, how they provide real-time quality checks on the data, and how they actually go about verifying the accuracy and reliability of those sensors.
I'm really excited to dive into those details. But before we do, why don't we take a step back for a second and talk about, why this matters? Like, why should our listener care about IDC and this approach to data?
Because in a world where we are increasingly reliant on data, particularly with the rise of AI, trust and reliability are paramount. IDC is setting a new standard for data quality. And that's a game changer, not just for the oil and gas industry, but potentially for any sector where data integrity is crucial.
Yeah, it's really laying the groundwork for a more trustworthy and reliable data-driven future.
Exactly. And that's something we can all get behind.
Absolutely. So stay tuned as we unpack the certify framework and explore how IDC is shaping the future of data. So let's dive into that a little bit deeper now. In our last segment, we really talked about IDC's mission and the expertise that they bring to the table. But now let's zoom in on one specific solution within that framework. That's SOP certify.
Okay, yeah. SOP certify. Think of it this way. Imagine you're an astronaut. You're about to embark on this complex space mission. You wouldn't want to be relying on, a jumbled mess of notes or scribbles for, these critical procedures.
No, definitely not. You need clear instructions.
Exactly. And in the world of oil and gas, standard operating procedures, SOPs, they're just as critical. They're the backbone of any, well-run operation. They ensure safety, efficiency, consistency. But traditionally, they've been these massive paper-based documents.
Not really ideal for a fast-paced environment.
Not at all. And IDC recognized that challenge, right? They saw an opportunity to bring SOPs, into the digital age with SOP Certify.
So it's about taking those crucial procedures, making them easily accessible, searchable, much easier to use.
Exactly. And it's not just about the user experience. It's also about the level of analysis that becomes possible by digitizing these SOPs. IDC can track how they're being used in the field. They can identify potential areas for improvement, and they can even, spot potential safety risks before they become major problems.
That's huge. And it makes me think about how this connects to their vision for AI in the oil and gas industry.
That's a great point, because by digitizing and standardizing these SOPs, IDC is essentially creating structured data that can be understood and, learned from by AI algorithms. So it's really laying that foundation for a future where AI can play a more active role in optimizing operations and, enhancing safety.
So instead of just being instructions for humans, these digital SOPs actually become a valuable data set for AI.
Exactly. And the AI can then analyze how procedures are being followed, identify patterns, maybe even suggest improvements or optimizations to the SOPs themselves.
So it's like this feedback loop almost, where human expertise and AI insights are working together.
Yeah, absolutely. A continuous improvement cycle. And this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to use AI to predict potential problems based on deviations from SOPs, or maybe even personalized training programs for workers, based on their individual needs.
So it's a much more proactive approach,
Yeah.
anticipating challenges before they arise.
Exactly. And the implications for safety are massive. Imagine being able to use AI to flag potential hazards in real time.
That could be a real game changer in terms of protecting workers.
Absolutely. So by creating this system of certified digital SOPs, IDC, is really laying the groundwork for a future where AI can be a powerful force for good in the oil and gas industry.
It's remarkable how something that seems, relatively simple, like digitizing procedures, can have such a profound impact.
It really speaks to the power of data when it's, properly managed and leveraged.
And I think that's a great segue into our next Certify solution, DQA Certify, which is all about real-time data quality assurance.
Yeah, let's talk about how they're ensuring the integrity of that. It really does. It's like building a house on a shaky foundation. You could have the best blueprints, the most skilled builders, but, if that foundation's not solid, the whole structure is at risk.
So how does SFV Certify, address that risk?
Well, IDC has taken those industry standard guidelines for sensor verification. That's that API, RP8, FE1, field verification procedures. And they've digitized them. So instead of technicians using, paper forms and manual checklists, they're using this user-friendly mobile and desktop application.
So it's taking something that was very prone to human error and potential oversights and bringing it into, the digital realm.
Exactly. And it not only makes the process more efficient, reduces those
Yeah.
errors, but it creates a permanent and, easily auditable record of each sensor's verification history.
That's got to be a huge benefit for, operators in terms of, transparency and accountability, knowing that those sensors are being properly vetted and certified.
Yeah, absolutely. That trust is paramount, especially as the industry moves, toward greater automation and reliance on AI for, critical decisions.
And that makes sense, because if you're going to trust an algorithm to, make decisions that can impact safety and efficiency in the environment, you need to know that the data that it's using is coming from a reliable source.
Exactly. So walk me through it. What does that workflow actually look like in practice?
Okay, so imagine you've got a technician out on a rig, and they're about to install a new pressure sensor. They open up the SFV Certify AI on their tablet or whatever device they're using, and they select the type of sensor, and then the app actually guides them through each step of that verification process.
Oh, so it's like an intelligent checklist almost, making sure that they don't miss any critical steps.
Exactly, prompting them to record serial numbers, calibration readings, the precise location of the sensor on the rig, maybe even take photos and videos to document the whole installation process.
It's like having that digital expert looking over their shoulder, making sure everything's done by the book.
Yeah, exactly. And once that verification's complete, the app generates a digital certificate that's, stored securely, and it's accessible, to both the operator and the drilling contractor. So there's a clear record of that sensor status.
Yeah.
No room for doubts or disputes down the line.
It's all about transparency and that shared understanding of, what makes a sensor reliable. That's really crucial for the whole industry.
Now, we've talked about the benefits, in a general sense, but what about some specific real-world, implications of using SFV Certif AI? What does that actually look like?
Well, one of the most immediate impacts is enhanced safety, right? By making sure those sensors are functioning properly, you can help prevent accidents or incidents that, might have been caused by faulty data.
And that's huge in an industry where even, seemingly small errors
Yeah.
can have, significant consequences.
Absolutely. And beyond preventing, those worst case scenarios, it also, helps improve day-to-day efficiency, by detecting those sensor issues. Early operators can address them before they cause, costly downtime or require extensive rework.
So it's about optimizing operations on multiple levels, not just cost, but time and resources as well.
Exactly. And as we touched on earlier, this focus on data integrity from, those sensors upward is essential for building that solid foundation for the future of AI in the industry.
Yeah, it's all connected. If you want AI to make smart decisions,
Yeah.
it needs reliable data from trustworthy sources.
Exactly. Garbage in, garbage out, right? You need good ingredients to make a good meal.
It's been fascinating to really explore IDC's Certif AI framework and see how they're addressing this, critical need for data quality in the oil and gas industry and beyond.
I think the big takeaway here is that, in this world where we're increasingly reliant on data, trust is paramount.
Yeah.
Whether you're in oil and gas or any other industry, the integrity of your data, that's the foundation for making good decisions, for innovation, for progress.
And IDC has shown us that achieving that level of trust requires a comprehensive approach.
Yeah.
One that encompasses the data itself, the procedures that govern its use, and the very sensors that collect it.
And as we move further into this age of AI, that focus on data quality is only going to become more and more critical.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of independent data certification. And until next time.